We are back with another Savage stream. Not necessarily a Savage video because this is a stream. I've been doing videos too during the day, posting a video about 1 o'clock. But I don't really have like a plan as far as how to go through this. I just wanted to fire up the live stream because I need to kind of start continue documenting the Ethereum Classic dedicated rig that I have called Kijimi. And that rig, I need to document, I have a spreadsheet where we go through, where I basically record, profitability and stuff. There's some things I need to do to it. Like I need to add power because technically it's not profitable to mine Ethereum Classic, even on these cards. I don't think. I'd have to really look at it from the power perspective, which is not part of the spreadsheet. So maybe if I get into it, maybe I'll do that tonight. Live and try to figure out the power cost. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Yeah, Kijimi is oh, you're talking about Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah, I saw him though. I think I actually mentioned him a while back in the chat there. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Fire Marshal Bill, one of the greatest characters ever. All right, so let's check this out here. I have a Google sheet here that shows the hardware. This is basically the hardware that this rig is. It has 10. I bought 11, but one of them went bad. I could not get that thing to stay mining. It would start mining for a little while, then it would crash the rig and do all kinds of funky numbers and crazy stuff. It was just something's really wrong with it. I did a couple videos on that, troubleshooting and stuff. So if you want to find out what happened to the 11th GPU here, you can check those videos out. But I got these P10690s, these 3 gig cards. You might be thinking, good grief, man, a 3 gig card. But at the time, ETC, Ethereum Classic, had just forked to ETC hash. And it was literally the next day or the next night. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what? It would be kind of cool. Because I was wondering about the price of these. Because I know that these are going to last quite a while, a couple years on Ethereum Classic, before the DAG gets too big. So I was like, all right, I think I will look at the price. I found a lot of them for, meaning, multiple from the same vendor for 30. I put $39.99 on here, but I think they were actually $34.99 at the time. But I was like, all right, sold. I'll do this. I'll just build a rig with these GPUs and just see if I can actually break even on it. And so that's what we're kind of doing. It's a 10 GPU rig. It's sitting on a 6 GPU frame that I've modified to hold, 10 GPUs, or actually it'll hold 11. And you can't really see it on this video here, or on this camera here. It's actually the top rig that's got like really bad cable management and stuff up there. But yeah, so there's 10 P10690s up there on a 6 GPU frame, and so you can add that up. I mean, if you added up the one that's bad, that's no good anymore. I spent less than, it was like $415 if I remember right, the total with shipping and everything. Anyway, so that is the GPU cost. The motherboard is an ASRock H110 Pro BTC Plus. These are pretty much the only motherboard that I use. I have a cost of $55 on here because whenever I bought it, that's about what it cost. But now these are going through the roof. I think if you go to Amazon, you're going to be looking at, see right here, this is, out of stock, right? On Newegg. I think if you go to Amazon, you're going to be looking at $135, $145, somewhere in that neighborhood. I cannot believe that I didn't buy like 10 of these whenever they were $35 on Amazon last year. That would have been pretty sweet. I did not do it. I did not pull the trigger. But anyway, so that's the motherboard. It's got some pretty standard memory, Patriot memory, CPUs, just a 4400 Pentium. The risers are the version 9S. Whenever I bought them, they were that price also. I don't know about now. I think the risers haven't gone up too much in price. So this might be fairly accurate, although this should actually be, this should probably be 110. Well, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I looked that up, and maybe they were $30 or so at the time. Anyway, I could be taking some off of that just for devaluation too, because these are used, of course. And then a 32 gig USB. It does have a nice power supply, Corsair 850. And then it's got the server power supply also. So that was a huge cost there, because this was about, I don't know what they cost now. Let's go look. Corsair 850. Probably pretty far up there. Up and tight. It looks like it's this one right here, actually. So it's actually $285 right now. So this is the power supply that's in there. Pretty cool. It's got a good power supply. And then the server PSU, pretty standard, breakout board, you know, some cables, beta frame, and a few fans, nothing major. Yes, Serpent, I did see that. I saw that they were talking about some mining GPUs. I think I want to say that talked on a stream about it, if I remember right. I don't know, my memory's so bad, I can't even remember what I did a video on, but it seems like I talked about it on a video, or at least I was going to. All right, anyway, so let's head over here to the other tab, which is mining rewards. And then this is where I document basically what's going on with the rig and when I, log in, the payouts and all that stuff. So I got to change the average mega hash also, because that one GPU isn't on there anymore. It's bad. Not a big deal though. It doesn't really, I just put this column in there for the heck of it. It doesn't really mean anything. So if we go over here to the worker, I am using Hive OS with this particular rig. And you can see it down here. I did recently restart it. You can see pretty steady with the other ones. I did restart this one because it needed an update. So that's why it says 32 minutes on it. And it is 10 GPUs running okay. So if we go over here to Ethereum Classic, I am mining on Hive on pool. So I'm using Hive OS's pool. And here's the payout. So if I click on this, it's going to take me to the payouts for ETC. Now, I'm surprised it went right to it with no problem. Normally, or what has been happening, actually, look, there's no data in here. Let me refresh this. This is what normally happens. Okay, so if there's Hive OS devs that eventually watch this video, this happens pretty much every time, and it's actually across multiple browsers that this happens. So I don't know if it is a known issue or not. But anyway, the way I get out of it is I click over here on Hive On and go to ETH. Then I click on it again and go to ETC. And then whenever I do that, it kind of clears it up and goes to the stats here. So in here you can see the stats, basically what you're expected to earn. And actually, you know what? This data, I just noticed, this data is for Ethereum, not ETC. So again, this is across multiple browsers, because here is, this is Chrome. So it's doing the same thing over here. So I click on Hive on here. Let's see if we can get it to show Ethereum Classic info. See, it's not. It's showing Ethereum. So even though I'm going to Ethereum Classic here, watch the numbers. 00945 ETH. See, it's not changing. It's changing this, but not the data. So that's interesting. So this data is no good as far as that goes. I think that the payouts and stuff are okay, so we'll take a look at that. All right, so let me get out of here. So we are not going to be able to use that information, but I think if I go to view on Hive on pool, I can actually get to the data that I need, I believe. Yeah, so see, this looks right. Yeah, this looks right here. All right, because we've got, you know, different numbers. It's showing realistic information in here. Yeah, so this is accurate. So I can just use this. So what it looks like is the OS itself is somehow not refreshing properly, or something. There's something broken in here, because between these two right here, it's like it shows the same data. So anyway, maybe I'll contact Hive support for that. All right, so if we go over here, we can look at, they've got a ton of stats in here that's really nice. You know, you can kind of keep track of what's going on with your rig. Pretty good stats. I like them. I like what they've done here. Click on workers. You can see what the worker's doing. Only have the one on ETC. But what we want to see is the payouts. And another thing that happens over here within the OS, within the dashboard here, is if you do get the right information to come up. Actually, let me see if this is actually the right. So if I click on payouts, this might be, no, this is not right. This is the ETC, this is Ethereum Classic, or I'm sorry, Ethereum data. This might be, let's see. No, this is Ethereum data, because the payout for ETC is like 1, not 0.1. So this is definitely, even though it's showing you ETC here, that's weird, right? It's actually the Ethereum data that I have going on in here, right here. Because I am mining Ethereum as well. Brenton, I am using Zelcore for Ethereum Classic. You can see that, verify it over here. All right, so let's get back to this. And what we have to do is we have to figure out, okay, where did I leave off? I left off at 117 was my last payout. So we go over here to January 17th, just to verify 13253. 13253 looks good. So it was the 17th. So I've only gotten 3 payouts since the last time I documented it. That's okay. I'm gonna copy that amount there. Come over here to the spreadsheet. This was January 19th at 2:06. So 119. 2:06. Probably go about 2:15, I think, for the hash rate. And then the number, the amount, is right here. Values only. All right, so then what I do, I'm just going to go through here and make it look the same here. I should have done this before because I think it might mess my numbers up here. All right. So I think, let's see if I go grab this. I'll copy the formulas in there too. I don't know if they probably already are in there. Maybe not. All right, so let's go over here. And what I have to do is I have to figure out around how much ETC was during that payout, right? So at that specific moment. So what I do is I just go over here and tell me if I'm stupid for doing it this way. Just let me know. Tell me if I'm tripping. So I go over here and I say, all right, I'm gonna go 14 days. What was the payout day? It was 19th at 2:06. So I just go back through here like this. Say, all right. At 2:20, it was 764. Oh, that's 18th. Wait a minute. 19th. I could probably get it more accurate, but here's a pretty good one. That's 794 at 2:19. That's good. What was that? 719. Yeah, I forgot the number already. 794. I'm gonna come over here, plug in 794 right there. Changes everything. Then this value here, I need to modify that. I think it's, I just have to change the formula up here real quick. That just is representing how much of the break-even point has been returned so far. So that's all this percentage is for that. And then this column, it looks like it did it correctly. G24. That looks right, right? 993 minus 984. All right. So that is that payout. That is done. Gotta copy one more of these. All right, so when was the next payout? The next payout was on January 22nd. It was actually larger, so what might have happened here, looks like it took a little bit longer. I don't know if maybe it wasn't enough at the previous payout time of 2 o'clock in the morning, and maybe it did it the following morning. Maybe, I don't know how that's what it looks like, because this is a lot more than usual. I don't think that the difficulty went down that much, so I wouldn't attribute that to that. I think that this is just a delayed, because you see here it's actually 3 days in between these two instead of 2 like most of them. That's probably what happened. It's just like another half a day basically. All right, so January 22nd at 2:06. Come in here. Paste that in there, values only. So then we have to go and find out what ETC was worth on 122 at 2:06. All right, it looks like it dipped a little bit here. 719. 719. 719, like that. Numbers change, look good. This one needs to be changed to 31. All right, so that looks right. That's funny, the value, well, because of that extra day there, basically, before it paid out, you know, this looks a little off because it was 1082 for the day, or for that payout, even though the value had gone down. But you got to remember that it was, you know, like 3 days in between the payouts here. All right, so let's go back over here on the 25th. It looks like it happened again here because that's 3 days. So 125. Is it at 2:06? Yep. They paid me at exactly 2:06. There's the values. Fix this now. All right, so now we need to go and find out 120 on 125 at 2:06. I'll put in there 782. I'm sure there's an automated way of doing this. I'm doing it the hard way, for sure. All right, so there's that. So we're at 962 value left on the rig, right? And not value, but payoff left on the rig. The total rig cost is right here, so you can kind of compare what's going on. All right, and then we can look over here. Let's see if this is right. It goes through 31. So yeah, so the total earned so far is 28. And if we go and bounce over to our Zelle Core wallet, we will probably, let me pull it over here just so I don't mess up here. All right, so 226. So the current value is 754, 752. So we have to plug 752 right here, the spot price for Ethereum Classic. And then you see that the value, goes down a little bit, obviously, because this is just totaling up the number of ETC that we've earned. And then this is the current value. So if the value keeps going down, it's going to hurt us bad on our percentage of ROI break even right here, and the total earned, of course. Let me see if I can, yeah, so I can slide this over here like this. So this is the wallet that I'm mining to. Now, I think there might have been like one ETC in here, or let's see, how did this work? Because I've got a little bit more ETC in here than what we've mined. So I might have used this wallet maybe in a video or something to mine to, and I probably just left it mining for a little while. And that's probably why there's a little bit more in there, but it's pretty close. I mean, 28.9 here and 30 here. So this value, 226, pretty close. I mean, it's off by 1 basically, right? So this is a good way for me to document it. It's a little bit manual, like you saw, but it does work for me. So just kind of keeping up with it. Now, what I don't have, and some viewers pointed out, is I don't have the power cost in here at all. And you're right, I don't. So I need to get that in here, because that's going to just destroy the return on this thing, and the break-even point and all that stuff if you include that. I think my intention was not to include it and just try to get enough coins to pay off the rig, right? And not worry about the electric costs. But I think at this point it's less than a break even, so it probably would be better to include the cost of the electricity. And you can see over here, this rig is consuming approximately 1,000 kilowatts, 1,000 watts, 1 kilowatt. And the reason it's like that, whenever you go into the rig, you see each GPU is only taking 70, 73, 74 watts, something like that. And if you total those up, that should only be 740, right? Or 730 or so. 10 GPUs times that wattage, right? Well, the reason that it's showing more is because I have modified the settings of the rig to include the basic, components. I think I put 175 watts or something like that on there. And let me show you what I mean. Like, this is like just what the motherboard memory processor consumes, just standing still, not mining and all that stuff. So you have to include that in your values, or else you're missing out on some of the power consuming, the energy consuming devices, right? So if I go over here, I can kind of show you this on this other thing. Let me add a rig in here real quick. And then we can go, once you get the rig in Hive OS, you go to settings, and then you scroll down here. There's a field right here, hardware power consumption watts. So right here, hardware power draw to get. I think that this is where this is where you do it. Okay, so power, and then you put power supply efficiency. Now, I wonder, now this doesn't sound right. Now that I'm reading it, it sounds like this is something else. This sounds like you're supposed to plug in the total, but what I did was I put in like the total at the wall, but what I put in was the total at the wall before mining. So I wonder, that's odd, because it does seem to be accurate, and I didn't put that in. I'll have to check once the stream ends, because I'm not going to go into that settings for this particular farm, because this is my live farm, and the settings over here shows information that you guys can't see. So I'll have to check, but I mean, hit me up if you know, if you understand what I'm saying. I could swear that this right here was for like the idle power consumption at the wall. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'd have to check. Anyway, might be wrong about that. All right, let's see. Let me check the chat, see what you guys are up to over there. All right, you guys are chatting it up. I don't think I had anything else. I think that was it. Let me go check the... Yeah, like right here on one day, I did go to NiceHash just for the heck of it. I wanted to see, compare the profitability. It was terrible. So that's why I put it back on ETC. But essentially, this is 1,000 watts. So that would be basically 10.3 cents per hour for me. So you're looking at two. Let me see if it'll show me here. So it'll be like two. Yeah, 240 a day, basically in power. I would say on average it would be 240 a day. $2.40 USD a day for powering this rig. Sounds about right. All right. I don't think that anybody else was going live. Does anybody know if anybody was going live after this? Yeah, right on, John. Can you mine anywhere for ETC, or are they still doing the same as if it's ETH? You can't, there's no ETC on NiceHash, I don't think. Not ETC hash anyway. So I believe that that's fair. Yeah, I'm not totally understanding the question, I guess. Like, I believe if you're talking about an ASIC, I think you have to have firmware for specifically for ETC hash. I don't think it'll just do it. If you point it towards a ETC pool, I don't think that it'll work with an ETH miner. With an ETH ASIC, I don't think it'll work like that. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll actually be doing I should be doing a video for tomorrow during the day. And I will see you, let me see here, make sure I'm doing this right. I'm trying to catch up with chat here. Yeah, I got to get out of here. I don't think that there's any other streams tonight. I don't think DCA is going live, or Panda, or Serpent. I don't think anybody is. Oh yes, Nemesis. Yes, yes they do. If you use Hive on Pool, then you can have both the rigs. That's what these are right here. Actually, these two are on Hive on Pool. One is mining ETH on Hive on Pool, and one is mining Ethereum Classic on Hive on Pool. If that's the question. Yeah. So like right now, you can see my daily cost is free, even though I have 4 rigs up here. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys tomorrow. It's not a premiere or anything. It's just a video that I'll post. Should be tomorrow at around 1, and then I'll see you tomorrow night on the live stream. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out and keeping me crypto company. Stay savage, everybody.